What up, Houston Astro fans?
What up, y'all? All right, Nick.
I know where this is going.
I'm confused, bro. I
Yeah.
don't I don't know how to feel about the Astros anymore. I kind of want to I don't want to give up on them, but sometimes I just don't want to watch them because I just have a feeling it piss me off.
The Astros starters, when we got Verlander, I was like, that's it. We're good. We got two aces. You got other guys.
It's
I don't
like a football team where the offense, defense, and special teams can't work together. It's like if like yesterday, okay, Verlander threw 6 innings, 3 runs, and we scored 7. Like in theory, that should be a win.
yeah,
Our bullpen let us down yesterday. And then
yeah.
some days our bullpen shows up and our starters don't, and we score. And then sometimes we just don't score. It's like, can y'all get y'all stuff together?
Yeah, it's as a whole the team is inconsistent. Um, but I look at the pitching
Mm-hmm.
uh, from starters to bullpen, and the inconsistency with them is just abysmal at this point. Like, are we overlooking just Dusty, and also should we be putting a magnifying glass on the pitching coach at this point?
I've been saying that though. That's why I've been saying all year. If Dusty gets fired, the pitching coach gets fired. The
Yeah,
hitting coach fire everybody, because like if we're gonna say the players can do whatever they want once they take the field, like Dusty should have no bearing on that. If the pitching coach is as good as they say they are,
yeah.
then there should be some shit change. Like it's just
Like,
I don't know, man. It's weird.
seeing Joshua Miller go out there a lot to talk to the guys every single game. It seems like now at this point, it's like, dude, I don't. Something's going on. Like
It's why I'm
something.
like, what is it? Is it what y'all are doing? Which is hard to necessarily blame it on y'all because we won a World Series last year. Are we just tired because we went to 2 World Series in a row? It's like, what's going on here? Because, like you
And
just said, this shit's inconsistent.
I could see that like as a point. You go into two World Series, and a lot of your guys played in the World Baseball Classic. Then you came into the season, you played the season. You had a ton of injuries from star power and the pitching staff to batters in there and everything, like Altuve being out, Jordan being out. Geez,
Okay, so my gripe to that is if we're gonna use that as an excuse, which I hate to do, but I
yes,
mean there is some truth to it, then that puts a premium on coaching and managing. So then we do blame them. And what I
yep,
mean by that is like, all right, you have to make the most of what you got. Like my logic, I'm not Dusty. I don't have a World Series. I don't have 90 years of baseball experience. But I just feel like there's some days where you should platoon a game, kind of how Tampa would do or something like that, you
yeah,
know? And the idea of that just doesn't register with Dusty at all.
yeah, yeah. Because throughout the season, especially with, I mean, the pitchers have been kind of in a more of consistent role. At least the Framber and Verlander at the end, but now it seems even more like he's trying to figure it out with Christian Javier starting on Wednesday. He's trying to move people still in places that they're going to be used. So I don't even know what we're doing if we make the playoffs. I don't want to say when we make it because I mean we're
I think
going down to the
worst case
wire.
scenario, we're a wild card, but I'm with you. It's like if we lose, it's gonna be because we lose, not somebody beat us. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like I envision it like this. I'm cool with Fromber and JV. Like they kind of are what they are, and
yeah,
we need them. We just got to bank on the fact that they're as good as close to their best on that day as we can get. Because, like I said, 6 innings and 3 runs from JV against Baltimore yesterday, that's not bad. But then when I say platoon, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like Hunter Brown warms up faster than any of the starters. So it's like start Urquidy in a game, hope that he could get you close to 5, and then hope that that Hunter can go through the lineup one time and then turn it over to the bullpen. Like I feel like I would be confident in that, trying to get a win that way. I have
yeah,
really no issues with JP France because even when he gives up runs, his pitch count is low. For JP, some days it's really a matter of if the umpire's calling him on the edges. So, and he's going to give you innings. So I'm good with JP. That's 4 games right there. It just has to be managed properly. You know what I'm saying?
And I mean, since Urquidy's come back from injury, it's kind of weird because we've been asking. You can see Hunter Brown gassed, and he's on the decline. If we're being honest, Urquidy's kind of just been steadily the same pace. I know he'll give up a few runs here and there, but it hasn't been where Hunter Brown like 3 runs in the first and 4 runs in the second. It's nothing major like that. And you've been saying it a lot of flip them. Quit putting Urquidy after Hunter Brown. Like you said, Hunter Brown can warm up fast. I look at Hunter Brown as what we've always had in our bench. That guy, when it gets rough, you need to go out there, bro, throw those heaters, and we'll figure the rest out with this bullpen. But it seems like I'm just going to say his hatred for Urquidy is not – he doesn't want to use him in that role. And it's like, dude, at this point, you have injuries. At this point, there's no Lance McCullers coming out. There's no Luis coming out. You need to use Urquidy in the position that we are in. We all know Framber, Verlander, 1-2, however the hell you want to do it. More than likely Framber because he's been the guy all year, then Verlander, and then JP, I feel. And if you don't want to put JP, you want to put him as 4th, well, then do Urquidy and fucking, what's his name? Hunter Brown right after him.
Yeah.
2-day monster right there. And then JP, and if JP struggles, and you got Christian Javier behind him or something. Like, it's just it kind of writes itself. I feel like we're harping on this like we did the lineup for
would you really say, okay, I'm probably more prepared to go into the playoffs with Framber, JV, Christian Javier with Framber 1, JV 2, JP 3 with a Christian Javier piggyback for JP, and then Urquidy with a Hunter Brown piggyback in game 4. So you're using all 6. I would feel more confident that way.
I think that would help out because the guys that are, being realistic, the games that we lose for some reason with Framber and Verlander, they're not out of reach games.
Nope.
There's been rare games where it's like 5-6 runs or whatever.
Well, the thing about those 2 guys is there's been a couple games where they both got out in they got fucking rocked early, but like you said, it's one time where you leaving in the second or third inning. I still think you can give me 6-7 innings, both of them.
Yeah, and that's where I feel like, whereas the other ones, you're relying a lot on them. So, hey, don't worry about it. If you don't do good, I have this guy behind you. But do the best you can, because then if he has to come in, I could save him for the next day, however you want to do it.
But also, like, the approach to the game as the player is different, because it's like if you're Urquidy or Hunter or Javier, I don't think it matters to JP, but if you know it's like, all right, I ain't worried about going 9 innings. I'm worried about going through this lineup one time and then maybe into the second time. You know what I'm saying? Then you're going to come differently. You'll be more confident, more calm. Your pitches might be like a little bit more on point. You're definitely going to throw harder because you're like, I don't have to save anything. So I just prefer to do that. But for some reason, it feels like Dusty's like, that shit don't work or exist. And it's like, all right, bro, whatever.
Yeah, it seems like he's stuck in his way. The lineup was one of the things that a lot of people were harping on. Now he's kind of set that in a way. It still moves around a bit, but he set it in a way a bit where you kind of see where he's going with it. But this pitching rotation, I don't feel comfortable at all of how, if he keeps it Christian and Hunter right after that. I don't feel confident going either into somebody's house with that, or if we're wild card and them coming home. We suck at home, so it's like I definitely don't feel comfortable with that. So it's like,
but I think I've said all year I thought he mismanages the bullpen.
Oh yeah, that is a for sure fact about it. We've seen,
like, I know Montero started the season shitty, but he's been doing good lately, really good. So he kind of botched that yesterday, but you have to just give him one here and there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
If you know something's going on with Presley, he shouldn't have been in that game.
And he kind of put it on like, oh well, Bray couldn't pitch, so I had to put Presley. Like, nah, dude.
No, because we've been saying all year that Montero is a really good, like, situational high leverage pitcher. I would be comfortable with him going there. Graveman closed for the White Sox. He could have pitched tonight. Like, I'm not trying to hear that bullshit. You know what I mean? I just think he mismanages the bullpen.
And like we say, he's set in his ways.
Yep.
And if he has yes coaches on his pitching staff, hey, you look up to Dusty that, hey, don't worry, bro, your bags will be packed at the end of the year also. Like, at this point, I don't even care for a Espada at this point, because this team is just, I feel like at this situation,
it feels like to me, bro, that I can't give up on a spot. You know what it seems like to me? Because I've been saying it the whole time. Like, I think there's I don't want to say a divide, but I don't think the people care for Dusty as much as people portray it as. So to me, for like a Spada and those guys to be on that bench, knowing that I can't really override Dusty or I have to do what he says, it would be like if you're a teacher, but the principal sat in your class all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what it's like.
Yeah, no, I feel you. Yeah, that's a shitty place to be in. Jeez. Like, putting it that way, that's really shitty. Yeah.
That's how it seems, though. You know what I'm saying? They're like,
no, it is, yeah.
Well, we would rather do this, but since this cunt's sitting here, we're going to do it his way.
I mean, as of this recording, I mean, Baltimore's just destroying us. So I don't know what we're going to do. I know Astro fans at this point are they're fed up with it. I mean, you have a right to be disgusted watching these games. You have a right to be pissed off. You have a right to be, I don't want to say stressed, because at the end of the day, we're not playing the game. They are. But these games are just ugly and they're not enjoyable. I have friends that are like, hey, let's go to an Astros game. I don't want to go to an Astros game. I don't want to see you lose for. Like, I've been to Astro games. I don't need to experience it. I'll go and I'll wait until the next year.
Yeah, I think what it is we're so used to blowing this division out, and we're used to being way more fucking hype going into the playoffs, but we're not confident right now.
Bro, our whole division sucks right now. Like, luckily that's a good thing for us. I mean, Mariners beat the Dodgers one of those games, but the thing is, like, it's kind of, if we were losing on the road, which is usually what happens for a lot of teams, I feel like, it's tough. You're in another person's team, whatever. Getting blown out at home. It's not even losses. It's literally 9-2.
Blowing other teams out in their building. I don't understand how that works.
Yeah, it's like maybe they need to boo them or something. Minute Maid just come in one day and just start boo. Rally tout it up or something, but I don't know. We need the dude that called them the Houston Asteroids to come back or something.
I'll go with that. I don't want him back.
Get the guy that hugged Altuve last year to run on the field again.
Yeah.
And like hug one of the pitchers or something. Maybe that would help. I don't know. At this point, let us know, guys. Houston, what do you think about the rotation? Who should get after Framber and Verlander? Are we being too hard? Is it time for Dusty to kick rocks? Let us know in the comments for sure how you feel. You got any more comments? Let us know in the comments. We'll read them out. That being said, make sure you like, subscribe. Does it wonders for us here for Bayou City Boys. And as I say this, Urquidy's coming into the game. Yeah. That being said, we're out of here, Houston. Later.
It's so stupid. What did you even put?
How much I'm working for this? I swear my dreams are too important.